Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of TPPI. I've already had to upgrade some of my chests here because I was running out of room. I've been finding villages left and right. Found a bunch of like bronze armor and stuff like that and steel swords, which I was lucky enough to be able to melt down in the furnace. I was thinking about power, and if we look at generators, you can't tell at a glance. There's no hydrogen generator in this pack. There's a gas burning generator, biogenerator. There's no hydrogen. So I'm going to have to figure out what we're going to do for power. Luckily, there is a pretty easy steel recipe for mechanism. It's not as easy as it was in, what was it, the crack pack. However, we can take enriched iron and coal in the metallurgic infuser. So basically it's iron and coal and then the enriched iron and coal. So there is a relatively easy way to do it without making a blast furnace or industrial blast furnace. So today I want to do a couple of things. I want to make a tree farm, and I was thinking about MFR. I haven't even looked at the recipes. I don't know if those got tweaked at all. Doesn't look like it. They look pretty standard. Forestry, I know I can run on 2 photovoltaic cells from Ender.io, but I was thinking about it, and I haven't used Steve's carts for anything in a while. So I want to make a Steve's carts tree farm, even though I think the woodcutters take damage now. So I don't know. It'll get us going at least. So before we do that, I want to do something else. I need to make a linking book to the new place, and I only get this about 25% of the time with the interlinking. I don't even know if that was enough. Usually it changes colors. Interlinking, okay, I'll take it, even though it is generating the platform. Normally it's between 8 and 10. We'll try one more time. I don't really need the platform, I just need it to be interlinking. There's one. We'll give it a go with the last 4 pulverized gold. I don't know if it's gonna... Okay, so we did get 2. I'll save those for a later time. I want to show you what I've built. I think I can just put these together. I can. So let me make a link book here. I'm going to run over to the place that I've built, and I'll show you that, and then I'll put the Steve's cart thing together and we'll set that up. So I don't know, I can only sleep at night apparently. I've got food. The hatchet is actually better than this sword. So let me run over there, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay, it's just around the corner here. Let me toggle the downfall, because we don't really need rain right now. I'm not going to wait for it. So here's what I've built. I'm going to tell you, I went a little nuts with the carpenter's blocks. I really like those things. Apparently I missed one. I totally did. Or I didn't, and the carpenter's blocks are just messing up. No, I've got one on the inside. Anyway, I really like this except for the doors. I just put them on there because I'd never seen them. And I just wanted to see what they look like. I'm going to switch them out for something else. Man, that's annoying. If you put a block where a carpenter's block already is, you see like it puts a little slab. It's kind of a pain. Anyway, so this is what I've built. I think it's pretty good considering I am not a builder. And I'll get some little slopes and I'll fix that in a minute. I'm supposed to have one right here, kind of like that side. I didn't want to block the window. That's why I did it like that. But I did it on the top as well. You can kind of see it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. It's really just kind of an above ground entrance. We'll do most of our stuff underground. That's just how I always seem to end up doing it. Glass and glass panes will work on the things, but clear glass does not, unfortunately. So it looks like I missed another spot over here. Man, I'm just missing them left and right. So picture this half looking like this half. I kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool. Down here I just hollowed out an area. I don't know how pretty this is going to be, but I'll get to that when the time comes. And I figure we can put our tree farm out here in one chunk. The whole thing will fit in a chunk. So let's make our link book right here, because I have an idea for how to transfer the items. I found some of the Mistcraft crystals, and you can put items through those things. So I figure we can just use one of those things, make a portal, send the items through, and pick them up with an obsidian pipe or something on the other side. Alright, at any rate, now we can go back and forth. I don't have to run. I can just zip back and forth. So what we're going to need to make for this, we're going to need to make a cargo manager. We're going to need to make the cart assembler, and then I want to make a basic hull. I'll probably just use a coal engine. Solar doesn't really work with trees because, you know, the trees block the sun. And then I'll go ahead and make, internal storage, not a front chest, an internal storage, side and top chests, and then this guy. So it'll be about 5 diamonds to do this. So let me make all this stuff. When I come back, I'll fire up the cart assembler, and then it's going to take about 16 or 17 minutes to actually build the thing. So I'll just show you what I do in the cart assembler, and then we'll put it together. So I'm gonna make all the pieces, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay guys, I think I've gotten all my modules and stuff. This is going to be a pretty basic thing. I'm also going to have to make a timer and an RS latch and a couple, we're going to need 2 of these, and I'm going to need to make a couple of regular detector rails for like vanilla, and I'll get into that when we set the thing up. So the cart assembler, we're going to need some coal. Not sure if it'll run on charcoal. It'll definitely run on coal. Put our cart in, put our engine in, our basic wood cutter, all the chests, and I think that's really it. I'm not going to have this thing run all the time. If I did, what I would do is I'd make a solar engine as well, and I'd give the solar engine priority so that the coal engine only kicked in when there was no sunlight. But that's not an issue right now, so this will get us going. I'm going to hit assemble. 16 minutes and 38 seconds it's going to take. So I'm going to go get a glass of tea or something while that works. When we come back, I'll probably go ahead and lay the track. I'll make the other pieces for the timer and stuff we're going to need, and then we'll set the thing up. One thing I forgot to show, I actually made one of those crafting logistics pipes so that if I want to make glass, what I do is I request it, and I think I have some in here. So yeah, I have 734 of it, so I don't know that it'll work. We can give it a try. We'll do 10. What it does, it sent it to the chest up there. But you make this crafting logistics pipe. Normally you use it with like this crafting table module, but if you hook it up to a machine, you can tell it if you give it sand, you get glass out. So you could do the same thing for pulverized obsidian or any other recipe that you want that goes in a machine. So I think when I set this up again, I'm gonna leave the 3 other sides open. I'm not gonna put the machines next to each other, just so I can do stuff like that. And I mean, you're fairly limited, obviously. The AE interfaces allow much more flexibility because you can do like nine items per one input as opposed to 1 for 1. So what are you gonna do? It's just one of those things. I'm just trying some new stuff. So this is gonna take a little while. When it's done, I will rejoin you and we'll set up our tree farm. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay guys, we are just about done with this. I already laid down the track by the new place. Here's our cart. If you mouse over it, it shows you what it has. The thing for the detector rail, not going to work right now because I forgot that Railcraft changes the recipe, and I don't have creosote oil to make the wooden ties. I can make these things without the rolling machine, but you can see it's 9 tracks to make one, and we need 6 of them, so that's almost a stack. Apparently you can make it in a plate bender or in the rolling machine. That's neither here nor there. Let's get some more saplings. A cool thing I found out about this, if you mouse wheel down, it'll move the number up. If you hold control, it'll move it up by 10. So you don't necessarily have to click these things. That can be tedious. Whoa. If you hit shift and scroll, it moves the page. I found some pretty good stuff. I found some chrome dust, manganese. I found some sheldonite somewhere, olivine. I don't even know if olivine's good for anything, but I found it, so whatever. So let's get... That ought to do it. Alright, and let's head over. So the reason I was going to make the detector rails was because in my testing I used item ducts, and the item ducts were so fast that when the cart stops on this rail to unload, the item ducts actually pulled all the wood out before the manager could give it back to the engine. So that was a problem. So what I did was I put a detector rail here and one here with an RS NOR latch that turned off the item duct for the duration that the cart was at the cargo manager. So I think that since we're going to use just a regular redstone engine, I don't think it pulls it out fast enough that we're going to have to worry about that. So I don't think that'll be an issue. But if we were to use item ducts, it wouldn't work right. So color codes. Okay, let's work this out. Everything is going to share the same inventory. So we're going to need green. So we're going to send from the cargo manager to the green engine. We're going to take from the green storage and send it to the cargo manager. And then it's only going to send fuels, or it should only send fuels back to the engine. Everything else is going to sit here. So we can essentially disable the other two sides, or actually other three sides, because green is the only real interface. You can set it so that each color has its own inventory. We don't need to do that. We're just going to share it all. So what we will do is put our cart down. We're going to put the saplings in first. If you shift click them, it's going to go to the fuel. And we don't want to do that. It probably already took off. Nope, didn't go anywhere. So we're going to put the saplings here. And we'll throw the coal in here. There it goes. Now what I want to do is take this other detector rail and the timer, and I actually want to put it right here, and I want to put the timer on it, and I want to set it on something like, I don't know, 5 minutes ish. The reason being, I don't want the thing just running around all the time, not collecting any wood. It's not going to get any fuel back until it harvests wood. So any wood that's harvested by this thing, it's going to get put in the cargo manager, and then that's immediately going to get put back in the engine of the cart. So we're not actually going to get any wood from this for a little while. So what this timer does, this rail, I believe it only works with a redstone signal. We'll see in just a second. So basically it'll hold the cart here for 5 minutes or whatever the remainder is, and then when it comes back around, then the cart will once again make its way down the track and harvest the wood. And this is just to give the trees a chance to grow, especially in the beginning. This is a good idea because if the thing just goes around and around, the coal actually lasts a pretty long time. But if you just put logs or planks or something in there, that's not going to last very long. So I want to make sure that stack 1 is full because just because I don't have a reason for that. That's just what I want to do. So I believe, I'm not sure if this thing will pump out of the bottom. We can find out very quickly. And I'm probably going to have to go sleep because I don't have a bed over here and I have not made a sleeping bag. So we can test this. We'll just throw some dirt in here. It does pull out of the bottom. Once we can make an autarkic gate, we won't even have to see the engine. It won't be a problem. So I'll actually just leave that on right now. And we're not going to need to be up here anymore. I may throw down some torches just because. And what we're going to do, I think rather than use insertion pipes, I'll just use logistics pipes. So let's put some gold pipe up there. Might as well use all 4 of them, not using them for anything else. And we'll give it a 1 block space. And then what are we going to need? We're going to need a barrel for apples, a barrel for saplings, and a barrel for logs. and I'll probably actually set a filter so that the things don't pop out. I don't have any of that stuff on me. We probably do in the other base. Certainly we do. Where's my book? Come on, man. Alright, so let me run upstairs and sleep. We'll get one each of apples, saplings, and oak logs, and then we should be all set. I could probably just grab a sapling out of the thing, but... So get one of those, one of these, and one of these. There's also a way. I was doing some research about the logistics chassis, and you can put I think it's an auto extract module, so that all you need is a chassis on something and it'll automatically pull items out. And I was also looking at Steve's Factory Manager, which is really cool, but they made it really expensive because you can basically do just about anything with it. And it's normally a very cheap mod. So since the TPPI guys are all about balance and stuff, those recipes got made a lot harder, just like the Ender Chest and Ender Tank and stuff like that. Alright, we have a couple of trees. I don't have a lever. Oh look, it's been about 5 minutes. This thing should kick off any time now. There it goes. How about that? So rather than run around the track and run around the track for the last 5 minutes, it has stayed there, saved fuel, and given some of the trees a chance to grow. So what we'll see when this thing comes back around is it will stop on the detector rail here, the advanced detector rail. It's going to take everything out of the storage into the cargo manager, and then the cargo manager is going to put fuel back into the engine. So we got everything from storage. You saw it put some of the logs in the cart. So we've got 10 now. And then the apples probably got sucked down into the barrel downstairs. So there's our tree farm. I'm still working out the power issue. We're going to need power for stuff. I'm having a really hard time finding Enderman, and since we need Enderium for so many things, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mob farm in here. Oh, check this out. You can, the water will go next to the carpenter's blocks like this. I didn't have Silk Touch to put grass on it. I was just trying it out to see what the water did, because when there's no camouflage block on there, the water actually doesn't occupy that other half block space. Anyhow, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this. I tunneled all the way through it. It doesn't show on the map right now. I think I'm going to make a mob farm. I'm going to take some of these guys and I'm going to make conveyor belts with them. If I can find the recipe. The extra utilities conveyor belts. The good thing about these, as opposed to the MFR ones, these are spawnable. Mobs can spawn on top of these. So I'm going to make as many of those as I can with whatever track I have left. And I'll have to find another mine shaft system to get more rails to do anything else. So what I'll probably do is I'll just make a couple of rooms up here with a little bit of a fall, and I've got enough ender pearls to make one or two vacuum hoppers. I'll probably only need one. Yeah, I can pull that off. I've got 6 ender pearls right now. I'll make 4 iron spikes, assuming that they didn't make that recipe super hard. Yep, just iron, no invar or anything. I'll throw some of those down, and then I'll throw, I don't know how long of a drop I'll make it. Probably not that far, since I want the spikes to kill them, not the fall, so we can get the rare drops. So that whenever I'm over here just working or whatever, we'll have some mobs spawning up in there and falling down and dying on the spikes. And hopefully, since we're not using water, we'll get a lot of enderman spawns, and then they will die and give me the ender pearls. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. I always have a problem figuring out how to lay out the track. Basically what I did was I gave it 2 block spaces away from the chunk border on all sides except for this side, since the structure is over here. I didn't want it to interfere, and I may actually replace this block and this block with stone or something, so trees don't get planted there, because I like to have a little bit of room on the sides of the cargo manager. So look, I've already been rambling for almost 5 minutes already. So I think that is going to do it for this episode. If you guys have any recommendations or requests for like what type of power system you'd like to see, leave me a comment. I don't want to use lava, even though the endothermic pump, I mean, everything's so expensive in this pack, you really have to earn that thing. So like, I wouldn't feel bad about using an endothermic pump and lava for this, just because it's so expensive. But I've been trying to get away from lava because, you know, it's just, normally it's too easy. It's not so easy here. But if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them down below. If you have any other comments or questions, leave them as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.